Welcome to Build Your Foundations, our weekly dive into a topic regarding divorce, mediation, finance, or mental health. Last week, we mentioned two different people who you want to have as part of your divorce team, your divorce attorney and your mediator. This week, we will look into the importance of having a financial expert on your team, but not just any financial expert, but one that's especially trained for the work of divorce. Whether you are amicably divorcing or you're in the middle of a highly contentious divorce, a financial expert is a must. There are a few financial experts that you may want to consult with, but there's one who is a necessity for your team, the Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, or CDFA. So, what's so special about a CDFA and why are they needed for your divorce team? Why can't you just work with a CPA or accountant or your investment advisor or broker? Your CPA or accountant or your financial advisor may be a good option for some financial information as you take steps towards your divorce, but they're not especially trained to look at your finances in terms of what to consider in the situation between divorcing couples. Divorce financial planning and financial analysis is not just about splitting the finances down the middle and calling it good. A divorce financial planner will work with you as a neutral or as an advocate, depending on whether your divorce is amicable or contentious. A CDFA will also take into consideration what may be considered marital assets versus separate property, what your cash flow will look like based on whether or not there is spousal maintenance and or child support, and how that affects your monthly budget. They will take into consideration any tax benefits or any tax pitfalls and help you put together scenarios for what the asset division looks like pre-tax, but also post-tax. They will also look at ways to creatively splitting any retirement accounts and how to avoid extra expenses if possible, such as having to hire an expert to draw up a qualified domestic relations order or quadro. Each quadro can cost up to $1,000 a piece, maybe even more. Although CDFAs do not practice law, they understand the parameters of the law and will work asset division scenarios based on these parameters. They can look at the state spousal or child support calculations and help the client come up with scenarios to consider and how these scenarios will affect their ability to live their lives as they had been as a one household family to two separate households. A CDFA will help you with your budget and post-divorce cash flow projections as for as many years as you request. Some may request up to 5 years. I believe that many collaborative practices project up to 5. Others may ask for projections until they retire and how retirement living may look like, especially if you're close to entering retirement and wondering if divorce is actually possible for you. Something else the CDFA may be able to do for you is to help you with restricted stock units and the calculations to consider and how to split these stocks. A CPA or a financial advisor who is not especially trained for divorce may not know that there is a calculation to consider and may not review with the divorcing client how the calculations work in order for both the spouses to know what is a fair or equitable split, especially if much of the spouse's wages are gifted stock units. There's also the difference of, is this an asset or is this income? And your CDFA will be able to help you out with that. So how to choose a CDFA? Things to look for as you start to meet with potential CDFAs to be a part of your team. As mentioned earlier about attorneys, there are attorneys who are excellent attorneys, and there are attorneys who do not have your best interests at heart. As you research different divorce financial analysts and planners, check to see if they are actively practicing in the divorce realm or if they merely have initials behind their names. If they are financial advisors, check to see which firm they work for, as many firms under the broker-dealer model will not allow a CDFA to fully practice as a divorce financial analyst or utilize software especially designed to do divorce financial analysis and planning. Many broker-dealer firms require their advisors to use their firm's general financial planning software, which does not take into consideration their state's laws and their parameters. And because of liability reasons, as well as liability insurance coverage reasons, specifically to practice as a CDFA, most larger firms will not allow their financial advisors to actually put together actual settlement scenarios for their divorcing clients. Although the firms will allow their advisors to have the CDFA initials behind their names because the advisor went through the testing and certification, these advisors are not able to fully assist in the divorce financial analysis and planning because they're not allowed to truly practice as CDFAs. Many independent firms, also known as RIAs, are more flexible with their advisors practicing divorce financial analysis and financial planning, and will allow an advisor to do the actual work of the CDFA versus putting together a financial plan for clients who happen to be divorcing based on non-divorce financial planning software. Also, be sure to ask your CDFA if they hold specific liability insurance to cover the CDFA work. This insurance is not one that every advisor will carry, as it is highly specific. Again, depending on the firm the CDFA works for, they may not carry this insurance. And if they do not carry this insurance, most likely the financial advisor is not actively practicing divorce financial planning and analysis. So other financial experts. Your CDFA may ask you to consult with your CPA and your financial advisor to help clarify your personal situations in order to provide the best asset division scenarios. Your CPA will be an excellent source of information as you consider what your taxable income will be post-divorce and to help you strategize how to maximize your effective tax rate. For business owners, your CPA can assist you on how to best manage tax liabilities or maximize deductions post-divorce. Post-divorce, and once all assets have been split, it is a great idea to meet with your financial advisor and update them on the terms of the divorce so that they can update your financial plan with them and can also project accordingly. Your financial advisor is also a great resource to help you consolidate your accounts once the assets have been split. Your advisor may also help with executing some of the cash flow planning which you and your CDFA may have come up with as you put together your budget, as you have come up with while you put together your budget during your divorce. So a CDFA mediator, one final consideration. If you and your spouse are amicably working towards a divorce, hire a CDFA who is also a mediator. In this scenario, you will have two experts in one. As you go through mediation, all of the financial pitfalls and considerations are factored into each scenario. Because you are in a mediation scenario, a situation, you will be working within the parameters of family law. But you and your spouse have the option to make specific decisions that work better for you and your family and your futures. Speak to several experts as you want the right person to help guide you and your soon-to-be ex on the journey to a successful divorce. Sometimes one spouse may feel okay moving forward with someone while the other spouse does not feel the same way. In this situation, meet with another CDFA mediator. You want the right person to help come up with good and solid agreements, which will affect your life immediately after divorce is finalized, as well as into your future. If you are considering separation or divorce, or have any questions on what we talked about today, please reach out to us at Foundations Divorce Solutions and schedule a free consultation. We would love to connect with you. Link and contact info are in the bio. Even if you're not in the state of Washington or in the Seattle area, please contact us. We work with colleagues across the US who may be able to help you. Also, please share this post or tag someone if this speaks to you personally or if it may benefit someone else. And lastly, if there is a topic that you would like for us to discuss on a future episode, please DM us. Thanks so much and see you next week.